p.m. Roll call and verification of quorum. Chair Courts.
Lazo.
Present.
Rachetta.
Present.
Blessman.
Present.
Corelli. Okay. Corelli. Can you hear me now? Okay. Corelli.
Present.
Levine.
Present.
Levine.
Present.
Lim.
Present.
Morset.
Present.
Elias. Kringle.
Present.
DeCara.
Present.
Butler. Yeah, she's here. Connolly. Gumarov.
Present.
Hamid.
Present.
Kaufman.
Present.
Larson. Memory.
Present.
Metellus.
Present.
Rose.
Present.
Shannon. Okay. Almanar. Almanar. Barrios. Hall.
Here.
Jackson. Altohaj.
Present.
Chauhan.
Present.
Naguib.
Present.
Wanjan.
Present.
Johnson. Patel.
Present.
Weiderberg.
Present.
Green.
Present.
Hendry. Borges. Alcuda.
Present.
Benish. Not here. Condoloro.
Present.
Collazo.
Present.
I'm here. Fuchs. Jimenez Valero.
Present.
Hashimi.
Present.
Lagalbo.
Present.
Pullman.
Present.
Renda.
Present.
Richmond.
Present.
Shen.
Present.
Varilla.
Present.
Vasquez.
Present.
Lipner. Okay, with a vote count, not a vote count. 41 out of 52, quorum is verified.
All right, and then just go ahead and make sure, look in the chat if anyone missed it. All right, approval of the minutes. Everyone go ahead, take a look at last meeting's minutes. And Carringle.
Motion to approve last meeting's minutes.
There's been a motion to approve last meeting's minutes. Are there any objections? Again, for objections, just turn on your mics. Seeing none, last meeting's minutes are approved. Approval of the agenda. Everyone go ahead, take a look at this meeting's agenda. And is there a motion? Alcuda.
Motion to approve this meeting's minutes.
There's been a motion to approve this meeting's minutes. Are there any objections? Seeing none, this meeting's minutes are approved. All right. Is there anyone here wishing to speak in open forum? Head nods. There's nobody here. All right. Announcements from the student body president, President Lister.
Good evening, Senate. I hope you all had a good week. I'll keep it as short as possible tonight as you all have much business to do. This week, Alex and I began speaking at orientations for first-time college students, focusing on advertising the SGLC program and for students to get involved with RSOs on campus. I also had my first meeting with the Florida Students Association, and I'm excited to work with the other student body presidents from Florida on lobbying for student-focused legislation. I will also be nominating the following individuals to serve as justices on the judicial branch. Seat 1, Madeline Grady. Seat 5, Victoria Rosario. Seat 8, Maya Neto. Seat 9, Nicholas Rezek. Seat 10, Samantha Nero. Seat 11, Isabella Pizzera. Seat 12, Victoria Lopez. Seat 13, Victoria Marie Villadurez. Seat 14, Crystal Porles. And these will also be in the minutes for this meeting. And I would also like to wish good luck for all the appointees going through confirmations today, and thank you all.
Are there any questions for the student body president? Seeing none, thank you, President Lister. All right, announcements from the student body vice president, none. Comptroller's report, Kylie Samillo.
All right. Hi, everyone. So over the past week, I did have a couple leadership meetings with senators, since that's the only spots that are really filled at the moment. So D.Sir Lazo and I discussed some court information and what we expect for the first email to go out to the RSOs. I also had a meeting with CRT Chair Kringle to go over some changes for the tracker and our expectations and goals for each other to keep transparency and collaboration. I plan on meeting with many members of leadership in all branches, and I've already reached out to fiscal leadership, and I'm currently in the process of changing the numbers and reversions to correspond with the trackers that have been sent from FONG while there was a transition period of leadership. So with that, the FAO numbers are -16, 324.46 with 0 reversions, and CRT is -14, 869.02 with 2.3% reversions.
Are there any questions for the comptroller? Seeing none, thank you, Comptroller Samillo. All right, Attorney General's report, AG Polera.
Good evening, Senate. I'm planning meetings with Senate and judicial leadership. I'm also working on updating Title I. Shout out LJR. Thank you for bringing it to my attention last meeting. My email is now working also. So if you have any questions or suggestions for statute revisions, please feel free to reach out.
Are there any questions for the Attorney General? Seeing none, thank you, AG Polera. All right, Cabinet Forum. Is there anyone in Cabinet wishing to speak in Cabinet Forum? Seeing none. Announcements from the Interim Chief Justice, Daniel Rivera.
Hi, everyone. Not much from me, but we're looking forward to you all seeing our appointees to the judicial branch. And as always, if you ever need support from our services, please feel comfortable and free to reach out to us.
Are there any questions for the Interim Chief Justice? Seeing none, thank you, Interim Chief Justice Rivera. All right, announcements from the Supervisor of Elections, none. Announcements from the Activity and Service Fee Committee Chair, none. Announcements from the Scholarship Committee Chair, none. Caucus reports, none. Announcements from the Senate President, me. Okay, I'm gonna keep it short because we do have a bit of business to get to tonight. But oh gosh, it's gonna make me refresh the page. Wait, I think it should be fine. Wait, I'll do that after. Sorry if it kicks me out. Yeah, so just remember, everyone remain respectful and keep questions germane. Chair DeCara did link the minutes for the ENA confirmations this week, so I hope Those of you who were wanting to, I mean, all of you should have just like looked through them really quickly. They're very extensive. Those meetings go like 3 hours for exec confirmations and these type of confirmations. If anyone is looking to maybe ask more extensive questions, that would be a committee to look into joining. But there were a lot of extensive questions asked in that committee. So yeah, just remember to keep questions germane, things like that. As always, I'm pretty much always available, so feel free to contact me at a reasonable hour. And that's it. Are there any questions for myself? Seeing none. Announcements from, oh wait, internal legislative assistant report, none. External legislative assistant report, Laurel Richmond.
Not too much for me. I don't have access to the ELA email yet, so if you need me, feel free to Teams message me or chat to me any way you want. Thank you to all who filled out the college concern form, but please remember this is about your concerns for your specific college, not about housing or parking, because those aren't germane to dean meetings. But we'll go over more about that at the mock dean meeting, but just as a little reminder.
Are there any questions for the ELA? Seeing none. Lipner.
I just wanted to say that I'm here and present and voting.
All right, Senator Lipner, present and voting, so noted at 6:17 p.m. All right, Senate President, Pro Tempore report, Pro Temp Morset. Okay.
Hey guys, I'm still accumulating my list of high schools and middle schools, local high schools and middle schools for the fall. So if you still have any contacts, please message me them. And I hereby appoint Elise Butler to the position of Deputy Pro Tempore of Legislative Affairs.
Are there any questions for the Pro Tempore? Seeing none, Johnson.
I'm present and voting.
Senator Johnson, present and voting, so noted at 6:17 p.m. All right, Deputy Pro Tempore of Legislative Affairs report, none. Deputy Pro Tempore of Senate Relations report, Amanda Lazo.
Hi, so snacks are officially in the Senate office. Candy salad is being postponed to next week because we have haters in this troop. I'm going to be trying to bring in a variety every week, so give me any recommendations. Feeling thermometer is now in the Senate Teams files, so we'll see if this is a good way to manage like Senate relations and how we're feeling about Senate. And then we'll workshop any issues with it if we don't see that it's working. For any signups on the one-on-one, please let me know or like confirm with me after you sign up, as there is a notification issue where it won't tell me like you've signed up for anything. And for clarification, they're going to be through Teams. And then lastly, we went to the campus master plan meeting last night, and there was a lot of information and questions giving out, including a lot surrounding housing and student space, which is something that a lot of internal committees have been discussing. There's going to be a first draft meeting later in the summer that will also be in attendance and keep you guys updated. If there's any questions about what was talked about last night, please let me, Chair DeCara, Chair Hamid, or Chair Vasquez know so we can answer that.
Are there any questions for the DSER? Seeing none. Old business, none. Fiscal committee caucus time, none. Fiscal committee reports, CRT committee chair Carringle.
Hey guys, so the R said that we're going to use the fiscal bill, did not have the materials ready, so we're going to see them next Monday during our normal meetings. Other than that, though, during the meeting, we went over funding caps, and we're going to revisit them in the fall to see if we need to make any changes. And next week, we'll also begin looking at new allocations and starting for the new fiscal year.
Are there any questions for the CRT chair? Seeing none. FAO committee chair Julian Larson. Is he not here?
Okay.
It's a vice chair was supposed to do it, I thought. Oh, never mind.
He's here. I don't know if Larson is speaking. We can't hear him. I'm here. We can't really hear you, Larson. If Memory is here, can we have Memory give it?
Told me to take over anyways. I didn't know what was going to be.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's supposed to be on a plane right now. He has the greatest vice chair in his place. I wonder who that could be. We didn't look at any allocations in committee this week. He reached out to some RSOs, but nothing back from them. Just waiting on stuff. If you have any finance questions regarding Senate or Life, feel free to reach out to him or me, but I probably won't have many answers. Anyone involved in RSOs, there's a link in the minutes, and that's all.
Are there any questions for the FAO Vice Chair? Seeing none, ORS Committee Chair Rose.
So today we didn't meet, but next week we're going to finish up some VPFs, hopefully. We've gotten some information from RSOs, and then we might also work on setting some precedent for the rest of this year.
Are there any questions for the ORS Chair? Seeing none, fiscal legislation, notice of legislation on first reading, none. Notice of legislation on third reading, none. Notice of legislation on second reading, bills, bills, fiscal bill 5601, funding for 36 members of the Association of Latino Professionals for America to travel to the ALPFA National Convention in Las Vegas. Oh, I just saw it was postponed. Nevada from August 4th, 2024 to August 8th, 2024. CRT Chair Kangle postponed. And then internal committee caucus time, ENA 20 minutes. Do I have to recess the meeting for 20 minutes then? Okay. Oh no, I have to do a motion. Is there a motion to recess the meeting?
You don't need a motion. You can just do it.
Oh, okay. I recess this meeting at 6:22 p.m. We will reconvene at 6:42 p.m. How are we going to do this? Is it just like the people who aren't? Okay, I'm going to stay.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a breakout room. So if you're not in the committee and you're on Teams and you don't want to listen, then you can join the breakout room. So if you want to listen to the committee, stay here in this room.
Yeah, Levine is asking what happened. Yeah, so it's caucus time for one of the committees that has to just get some unfinished business done. Right. So well, I got pulled into that.
I assigned everybody. I assumed that meant they could choose for themselves.
That's okay. I was gonna explain it to Steve. Well,
Hey, Steven, can you hear me?
yeah, I was gonna explain it too. Can you hear? I'm so confused. If there's a meeting going on, I don't want to be disruptive. Can you hear me, Karingle? I guess you can't. Yeah, basically what happens
Okay.
when a committee.
So
Oh,
I have reopened room 1, and now you are not automatically being moved there. So if you
Okay.
want to participate in E&A, do not go to the room. Stay here.
Okay. Really quickly before the meeting starts, I'll explain it for those new senators who are confused before ENA starts. Basically, when a committee doesn't maybe reach all their business, the room is for ENA, is what it sounds like, Andrew. Borges, did you just get here?
Yeah, if we haven't gone to recess yet, can I be present and voting?
We have recessed.
Okay,
So-
thank you anyway.
Yeah, just remind me. Sorry, I keep getting. Oh no. I hope I'm not disrupting the meeting if it's going right now. But yeah, sometimes committees have to caucus to finish their business. So that's what's happening.
Okay, I'm just gonna go over because like Brody just explained it. But so if you want to be an ENA, stay in this meeting. So like Panda just got here, yeah, stay in this meeting. If you're not an ENA, click join room 1. Unless you're gonna be very quiet. If not, everybody else that isn't an ENA, go to join the other room. Thank you. No, it's not. Sorry, Allison. Sorry for the confusion. I know it's really confusing.
Andrew, are you still here?
Yes.
All right. Do you have everything open?
What?
There should already be an agenda.
You have to speak close to the mic or I can't hear you.
Is this close enough?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Give me 1 second. That took like 10 minutes, so we're already like lost, but we'll come back when we can. Give me a second.
I think theoretically they were both a part of ENA at some point. They've been, when they were reinstated back to all the committees they would have been in. But if you've removed them from ENA at some point because of absences, then that's separate. So.
Okay, Andrew, you have everything?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Adam, are you good? You're good. I feel so bad. Pawn, are you good? Can you hear everyone?
Yes, I'm good.
All right, we can hear her. For everyone in the back, keep it a little bit quieter. I call this meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. Roll call and verification of quorum. Vice Chair Chiazzo.
Chair DeCara.
Present.
Senator Karingal.
Present.
Senator Almanar.
Present.
Okay. Pro Temp Representative.
Present.
Danny's on her way, so
Amanda's right here.
even better. Oh yeah, sorry, Amanda.
Is Jackson here, by the way?
Senator Jackson.
All right, absent.
Five out of 5 quorum is verified.
All right. Looking at last meeting's minutes, is there a motion? Lazo.
Motion to approve last meeting's minutes.
Is there a motion to approve last meeting's minutes? Any objections? Seeing none. Approval of the agenda. We're only seeing one person. Is there a motion? Kringle.
Motion to approve today's agenda.
Is there a motion to approve today's agenda? Any objections? Seeing none. As you see, we're caucusing for academic affairs. Let's make this quick, but still ask your questions. Be respectful. I threw a bunch of other stuff in there too. Announcements from the vice chair.
Yeah, all I have is good luck to the appointee.
Announcements from committee members. None. Announcements from non-committee members. None. Old business. None. Confirmations. Is there a motion for speech, questioning, debate? Correct.
Motion for 5-10-10.
The motion for a 5-10-10. Any objections? Seeing none, we're now at 5-10-10. 1 second while I set that up. Pon, you'll have 5 minutes for your speech. So once you start, the clock will start.
Okay, thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here today. To start things off, my name is Pania Talaliotis, and I'm a sophomore studying political sciences on the politics and policy track. I was born and raised in Tampa, Florida, and I come from a big Greek family. Over my many years of student leadership, my passion for serving the student body has grown greatly, and I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to continue this passion here at UCF. During my time at UCF so far, I've had the pleasure of being a part of the SGLC and ELC programs. Being in these amazing programs allowed me to grow my passion for our student government and learn what big impacts can be made by the hands of hardworking, driven individuals. Today, I sit before you, hoping to make even bigger strides towards success as the Academic Affairs Coordinator. My passion for academics is one that is big and all-consuming. I pride myself as a lifelong learner, and in all my future endeavors, I'm committed to serving my community through education and the enriching lessons that it instills within each of us. Being a student is the one characteristic that unites us all and brings our UCF community together, a desire to learn and drive to succeed in any capacity. After all, it is the education field that I aspire to make a difference in beyond my years at UCF. It is this love for education and academics that has led me here. As the Academic Affairs Coordinator, I hope to elevate our university with every idea, motivate and encourage students with every event, and be a light for those around me on and off campus. In my cabinet position, I understand the pertinence of success, as academics touches every corner of this university. This means that I will need to open my eyes to the perspectives and struggles of all students, learn from them, and work hard to find solutions and bring success to everyone. I will collaborate with any and everyone to ensure this is done. This means working with administrators to fulfill and exceed goals, collaborating with the 3 branches to bring our initiatives to fruition, and working with the 13 colleges to ensure not just academic perfection, but academic progress is attainable for all students. I look forward to bringing initiatives forward to making our classrooms a campus a blanket of safety by promoting mandatory emergency active shooter precautions in the classroom. Working off of the previous administration, I plan to take the College Major Showcase to new heights by making it grander and more accessible for students. In addition to this, I will cultivate and foster the connection of student admin relations through various programming. I'm beyond grateful and excited for this opportunity to begin, and I'm confident in my abilities and who I am to approach this challenge, and I am ready to make a difference. Thank you so much for listening. Madam Speaker, I now yield my time and ready for questioning.
All right, we're now in questioning. That's about 10 minutes. Any senators, anyone wishing to ask a question? Deputy Lazo.
2, if I may.
You may.
So the first one is going to be, can you elaborate a little bit more on any experience that you think would really benefit as an academic affairs coordinator?
I'm so sorry. You're very quiet. Are you asking my experience that like would benefit my position? Is that what you're saying? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, 100%. Yes. Yeah, that's what I was asking. Can you hear me now or no?
Yes, that's much better. So just any experience that I have related to that?
Yes.
Absolutely. So I think first and foremost, being a student makes me a good candidate for this position. Going through the process of being a first-year student last year really opened my eyes to just how much information there is to learn here at UCF and how many various programs and initiatives and events and resources that we have available, and just being so starstruck and almost just overwhelmed with how much there was. And entering student government, that really allowed me to kind of like hone in and focus on each initiative and each event and each resource that our student population has access to. And I want to be the advocate for our student body so that they feel that they know everything that goes on campus. They know that every resource is there, every resource is available to them. I just really want to ensure that our student body as a whole doesn't get lost when looking for resources. And my experience as a student comes first with that. And then secondly, I think that my experience working in the SGLC and ELC programs really has benefited me, mainly because I had the opportunity to work directly with students at the events that I hope to be doing one day, and just kind of understanding and hearing concerns and seeing how individuals prior to me have taken action to address those concerns and tackle initiatives here on campus. And then additionally, I had the pleasure of joining Wiki Nights, which is a UCF club that fights for open educational resources. And I was newer to the club my freshman year, and I'm excited to continue it for my sophomore year. And that just allowed me to understand and really view all of the students as just so deserving of education and in the most accessible way. So I would say that through all of those, I've built and experienced plenty of knowledge that I hope to bring to this position.
Alrighty, and for my second question, can you just elaborate a little bit more on the logistics of the faculty, staff, and student meet and greet? I know that UCF is a very large school, so I was just wondering how exactly this event would work.
Yeah, absolutely. So this idea kind of came into fruition when I, as a freshman, attended the club fair, essentially, where we took our class photo on the football field, and then afterwards I got to go, and there were student government tents, and I got to meet student government, and that's actually where I kind of like began to get the inkling to join student government. And I think that an event similar to that, or that event specifically, would be a good area to do that. Just meet the faculty, meet your dean, meet your academic success coach, really just anyone that we can get to attend that would be amazing, because I think that putting a face to a name is really important. And if our students can set up like initial connections with those people, they're going to be so much more comfortable accessing them in times of need. And so that's kind of where I think that event will just bridge the gap and just open lines of communication and trust between our students and staff.
I have a question regarding your satellite campuses. What is like your plan or approach to helping with the needs of students over on Rosen and downtown and like Nona?
Absolutely. So I think that comes first with just meeting them, as well as collaborating with the deputy chief of staff. Between the two of those, I think that I can just gain and understand the knowledge of all of our satellite campuses, as I am a main campus student myself. So I think that when working with satellite campuses, I want to understand their concerns and address them as best as I can. And that really just comes from listening and learning from them. So I plan on meeting with anyone and everyone who will speak to me and just address their concerns and, treat the student body as a 100% whole. I want every initiative that I have to touch every corner of the campus and reach as many students as possible. And that really does include the satellite campuses and making sure that they don't feel unseen and they don't feel forgotten.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on your emergency and active shooter training idea for requiring it as a syllabus requirement?
Yeah, absolutely. So I really want to work with Dr. Frame, UCFPD, and the Safety and Transportation Coordinator with this. Essentially, what my hope to be with this is going to be a syllabus requirement that our professors who are in person will discuss with the students on day one of classes. So I really want to hit the ground running with this if appointed. I really hope to bring it to UCF so that on day one, when students sit in their fall classes, they get the opportunity to understand their evacuation routes and what to do if there was an active shooter on campus. Because, I think that the situation that we experienced last year kind of left us all like in like a confused state as to what are we supposed to do in those scenarios. And I want every professor and every student to feel comfortable and capable of learning every single time that they step into a classroom. And I want them to feel like they are knowledgeable about their evacuation routes and about their safety precautions that we have on campus. This idea kind of started when I had a professor, my fall semester of my freshman year. He went over all of the safety routes and it was in his syllabus. And I really appreciated that as a student, just knowing that, I'm a freshman, I don't know where I am in any building, I'm directionally challenged, and just understanding that he cared enough to take the time to explain it to me was very valuable. And I really want to implement that to the whole student body.
Vice Chair Chiazzo.
Thank you. So my question for you is, could you elaborate more on your classroom reservation initiative? I do have a bit of concern in regards to safety for the students.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that the classroom reservation is not only just reserving the classrooms, but also advocating for other study spaces around campus. We're going through our renovations on the 4th floor of the library, and our student body is concerned about study spaces. So I just really want to advocate for any study space that we can show to the students. I think outside study spaces are a great use of that. I think that, areas like in front of Addition Arena are a great example of that. And, additionally, I think the TA building specifically, that is a building that's open 24 hours for students. So I'd really like to see, those places being advertised more to the student body. And as for the classroom reservation system, I'm not the most tech savvy, but I know that the registrar's office is in charge of creating that system. So I would really love to work with them and just kind of understand the process and just kind of offer ideas, hear the student body, hear their concerns, and put together hopefully a system where our students can access it online and have a space that they can go to feel safe to study in.
Thank you.
Deputy Lazo.
Can you elaborate on how your emergency textbook fund would differ from the current textbook purchase program?
Yes, absolutely. So the emergency textbook fund is essentially allocating about $1,000 to $2,000 of our money to go to students. It's a need basis. So the goal would be that students can apply for this, and then whatever textbook that they are currently needing gets purchased, and then along with that gets posted to the UCF library. So the goal with this is essentially to make the textbook free for the whole student population. It's not going to be a perfect answer right on the first try, but I think that as it grows, the goal would be to continually promote open educational resources. And I think to also further this, I know that working with Wikinites, there's so many amazing opportunities and alternatives for textbooks. We have textbooks that cost $200, and then we have just as good textbooks costing $0. And I really want to ensure that our students are getting the most cost-effective way to learn, so that they don't have to stress about that money, and they can focus on just learning and school and getting out with good grades and a degree.
We have about 45 seconds. Is there a motion to extend time?
Motion to extend it by 4 minutes.
Motion to extend by 4 minutes. Any objections? Andrew, is that an objection?
No, it's a question.
Okay. Seeing no objections, we now have 4 more minutes.
I have a follow-up. As a follow-up, can you clarify whether or not did you say 2,000?
Yes, I think $1,000 to $2,000 would be an appropriate beginning. I'm obviously very flexible to that. I think that this program is a small start, but the goal would be to every single year do that, and it essentially grow.
Vice Chair Chiazzo.
Yes. Before I start, if the deputy could continue the minutes for me, please. Yes. So my question for you is in regards to Cram for the Exam and College Major Showcase. Could you just elaborate more on how you plan to improve those events?
Yeah, absolutely. So these are two events that are very near and dear to me. To start off with Cram for the Exam, you know, every year we do this and every semester we do this before exams, and I think that it really helps the student population. But what I have seen from attending these events is a lack of participation, and I really just want to find any way to make it bigger and better, and I would love to collaborate with really anyone to ensure this. You know, exams are such a stressful time, and we want to ensure that our students feel comfortable and they know their resources, and this is a great way to do that. You know, it's not just giving a breakfast to our student body, it's showing them that here's a breakfast and here's the resources that we have for you this week if you feel like you're struggling. You know, it's a mix of both. And then for the College Major Showcase, you know, our we have a 40% dropout fail out rate for our undeclared majors, and from attending the College Major Showcase, I heard feedback from the student body saying, you know, this was amazing. Like, this is where I found my major. Like, I know what I'm going to do with my life. And hearing that was just so impactful. And I really realized that, you know, the student body needs this. The undeclared majors need this to really be aware of, you know, all of the resources and all of the majors. You know, we have, I believe, over 240 options for our majors on our campus. That can be overwhelming for a student who's between things, and I want to give them every opportunity to, you know, discover a path for themselves and discover it as quickly as possible so they can get working towards it.
I had a question regarding your automated advising FAQ service for students. You said that you want to focus primarily on like the GEPs with incoming freshmen and sophomore. Do you have a possible initiative with dealing with students who may be changing their majors or minors, or transfer students with their transfer of credits with the GEPs?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to kind of communicate and learn more about how that can be perfected. I had the opportunity of attending the Nightbot cabinet meeting last year, and in that, the gentleman essentially was putting a heavy emphasis on only the GEPs because it's kind of a clear-cut answer for most things. He says essentially Nightbot is a learning service. It, like, as you communicate with it, it learns how to answer questions. So because it's so new, you know, I would love to implement that, but I would hate for our, you know, our jump to making it more inclusive, give somebody the wrong information. So I think that if it was perfect, absolutely. But I definitely want to put heavy emphasis on the GEP program because it's a little bit more cut and dry when it comes to options and answers for the student population as they ask questions. So a transfer student might have a complex question that the chatbot is not able to answer, and I would hate for them to feel lost or stuck. Now, to go along with that, if they were to ask a question like that, what I would hope is that the chatbot would direct them to an individual that will help them. So the goal, I think, in that would be if they wanted to ask about transfer credits, that it would direct them to the academic success coach that would assist them in that instead of answering it for them. So yes, I think it's just a growing system. And as long as we can trust it 100%, then that's something that I'm interested in, of course, like pushing further for initiatives. But for now, definitely a heavy focus on perfecting the GEP and testing it out with our student body.
Senator Kringle?
Move to debate.
There's a motion to debate. Any objections? Seeing none, we are now in debate. 10 minutes. Chair Kringle.
Yeah, I think that they answer the questions really well. I like all their proposals, and I think they cover the full spectrum of students at different campuses, graduate students, undergraduate, even finding those without majors, you know, the proper resources. So I think everything looks great here. I'll be voting in favor.
Deputy Lazo.
So while I am a little bit nervous about the implementation of things such as like the faculty meetings and the emergency textbooks fund, I do like the passion and drive that this candidate comes with. I think only time will tell whether or not a lot of these initiatives can become reality. There's a lot of bureaucracy when it comes to UCF, and that's my experience that has to be learned on the fly. So I'll be voting in favor, and I look forward to seeing how this comes out.
Vice Chair Chiazzo?
Yeah, so yeah, I kind of have the same sympathies as Deezer Lazo. I'm like nervous about some of the implementation of several initiatives, but I agree with her in saying that it kind of just like time will tell. And clearly the candidate is very passionate and honestly open and willing to learn. So I will be voting in favor of this candidate.
Basically seeing that. Is there a motion to vote? All right, we're now voting procedures. I'm gonna do what we did basically. What's your vote, Vice Chair Chiazzo?
My vote is yes.
Chair Kringle? Chiazzo, yes. With a vote count of 4-0, you've been approved by ENA.
Thank you.
Deputy Lazo?
Motion to move to final adjournment for any final roll call.
The motion to adjourn pending final roll call. Any objections? Seeing none, Vice Chair Chiazzo? Can you hear me?
Yeah. It's same as initial.
All right, I adjourn this meeting at 6:51 p.m.
All right, we'll give everybody a second to regroup. Don't forget to turn your cameras back on if you're willing and able. Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
In the chamber, you guys can hear me. Kirsten?
Guys, can you all quiet down?
Yeah. I'm going to reconvene the meeting. All right. Is everyone in the chamber in their seats and ready to go? All right. Make sure everyone gets settled. Okay. All right. Is Brody ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I reconvene this meeting at 6:53 p.m. All right. Internal committee reports. ENA Committee Chair DeCara.
Hi, everyone. The numbers may be a little bit off. We're seeing a good amount of people tonight. We saw 6 on Tuesday. Agenda with the questions and debates are posted with the confirmations. Approve was Diversity Inclusion Coordinator, Safety Transition Coordinator, Sustainability Innovation Coordinator, Digital Media Coordinator, and Graphic Design Coordinator. And as you just saw, Academic Affairs Coordinator was just approved within this caucusing. Denied was the Athletics Coordinator with a vote count of 0 to 3 to 1. And then I'm going to be working with Director of Communications on new OpenSea Instagram post. And then as you saw, we will now be doing the justices to the first round next week.
Are there any questions for the ENA chair? Hamid, is that a question?
I do have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Can the committee kind of go more in depth about why the athletics coordinator was denied? I read through the minutes, but I just kind of want to get more of your guys' mindset.
I'll let the other members speak for me.
Andrew, do you want to go first or?
Yeah, I can speak about it.
So one of the main reasons that, or at least in my opinion, that I had voted in negation was that I didn't exactly see a lot of, well, I saw a lot of passion. I didn't really see a lot of reality in a lot of their ideas, as well as there wasn't a lot of work or research put into those ideas that kind of made the candidates seem a little bit underqualified or not as prepared for this meeting. And there were also issues that I personally had with the initiatives. I didn't really think they aligned with the coordinator position, which isn't anything wrong. I know that in cabinet they switch around their initiatives, but there wasn't really any research on their initiatives to make it seem as if they were prepared or really diving deep into what their position could really do.
All right, that was a good sum up, but Collazo, if you want to go.
Yeah, to add kind of the same sentiments to Deezer Lazo, I think the main thing for me personally was kind of the attitude of the candidate. We understand that not all the candidates will come in knowing everything, and that is totally fine. And however, the way the candidate answered questions in regards to not knowing was, a little questionable. So, and again, then the candidate didn't really have any idea into the implementation of the event. Additionally, the candidate didn't really speak on the pep rallies, even though it's been a known event for the athletics coordinator. But yeah.
All right, are there any other questions for the ENA chair? All right, seeing none, Almanar.
Present and voting, but I was also present before 7:30, just didn't get a chance to say it.
Okay.
I mean 6:30.
Okay. I'll say, I don't really know how to go about that. I'm just gonna say Almanar. Do I just have to, Brody, if I didn't call it, then does that mean I just have to do it now?
Yeah, it just goes in at 6:57.
Okay. Senator Almanar, present and voting, so noted at 6:57 p.m. If anything, you can go through LJR. And then I know Borges also. I don't know if Borges was here. I think Borges was late. Okay. Well, there's that. And then Lazo.
There was a senator doing ENA that I think had also was supposed to be present and voting. It was Senator Hendry. I just wanted to make sure that they were present and voting, but they could speak on that.
Okay. Hendry. Is Hendry here? He's not here. All right. Well, whenever Borges gets back, I'll have to mark him present voting too. All right. GAP Committee Chair Vasquez.
Hi, everyone. I hope you have all had a great week. So this week in GAP, we had guests from Gray Robinson come in and answer any questions our committee members might have had for them. They discussed our collaboration for this session, and they outlined their relationship with us and the university. And we even began discussing possible legislation and policy ideas with them. So next week, Vice Chair Varela and I have a scheduled meeting with Amanda Dever to discuss GAP's collaboration with Night Vote. So next week, I really hope to update you guys on how that meeting went. And then I've also reached out to Renee Johnston, who's a coordinator in the iSTEM department at UCF, to get some context for one of the initiatives that we had in mind for GAP to go to local high schools to spread voting information and pre-register students to vote. So she responded to my email, was very helpful on the initiative. She was very passionate about what we were doing, and she even encouraged us to get context from not only Orange County, but Seminole County as well. So really good feedback on that. And I'm looking forward to get the ball rolling on that and reach out to the contacts that she shared with me to have it all set up for when school starts in August. And if anyone has any questions or needs help on anything, please feel free to reach out. Thanks.
Are there any questions for the GAP chair? Seeing none. LJR Committee Chair Quartz.
Hello, everybody. In committee, we've began our statute and
rules training. Make sure that you're checking the teams, as that's how we communicate with the Senate body. And if you can't find the form on Night Connect, either email the LJR email or Teams message me for the link. And finally, make sure that you're voting during voting procedures, because if you don't vote on at least, okay, Brody's changing it, 3/4 of the things that we see during the night, it's counted as a half absence.
Are there any questions for the LJR chair? Seeing none. SBA Committee Chair Hamid.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're all having a great week. So this week in SBA, we saw Proclamation 5602, which passed in committee. You also see on the proclamation that the committee chose to sponsor it. We also discussed some changes we're going to be making to the concern form. I'll be finishing up those this weekend. This week, some members of SBA and I met with Shane to discuss protester safety on campus. We're going to try and bridge the gap that's formed between protesters and administrators to make sure everyone is safe. This week, I was also able to go to the master plan meeting for the 2025 to 2035 plan. I'm going to be working on a survey to send out to students to see which capital improvements they would prefer to be completed soon, so we can advocate for those changes.
Are there any questions for Chair Hamid? Seeing none. Confirmations. All right, so we're seeing 9 tonight. Is there a motion since we're on a time crunch? Carrie Engel.
Motion for 5-minute speeches, 5-minute question, 5-minute debate.
There's been a motion for a 5-5-5. Are there any objections? All right, seeing none. Okay, first up we have Trinity Blessman, which I believe she's here.
Yes, I'm here. Should I just start?
Let me get my timer up really quickly.
Okay.
But okay. All right, you can go whenever you're ready.
Awesome. My name is Trinity Blessman. I just finished my freshman year here at UCF, so I'm very excited to start my sophomore year. I am double majoring in history and English. And yeah, I'm super excited to go through confirmation. I have a ton of ideas about student government and specific goals that I'd love to be able to share and get, to UCF. My first one is that I really want to promote student engagement just by providing more accessible outlets for students. I feel like a lot of students feel like they're not heard via student government just because they don't know how to reach out. So I was hoping that we could, promote ourselves via social media, tabling, maybe like a town hall forum, stuff like that. Just anything to really get students to feel like they're heard and that they actually do have a say on what happens on campus. I also really want to enhance our academic support systems, specifically for our colleges. I think a great program that I'm not sure if it's already been implemented, but that I would love to implement would be peer tutoring. I know it's something that I would really have loved to see as I struggled in a lot of my classes, even related to my major. I would have loved to have worked with someone who is within my college that could really help me understand. And I'd also really want to improve our club and RSO communication. I just think that there are so many registered student organizations that we know on campus that a lot of students don't know about. So I think something like super collaborative, like a digital newsletter or a calendar or something, could be really beneficial for all of our student body. And yeah, I have been really looking into committees as well. And I was super interested in the Government Affairs and Policy Committee and the Student Body Advocacy, just because it really does promote student engagement and kind of civic education. And yeah, I would just really love the opportunity to be able to serve and learn about student government in any way, shape, or form. I'll yield the rest of my time to questions.
All right, we are now in line for questioning. Oh gosh, I had to pop up. Shen.
Could you go into more specific details on ways to further promote student government across campus? Because we already have a lot of things such as social media and etc. I just want to see if you have any creative solutions to that.
Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of our students, while I know that we have a super active social media, I love the Instagram, don't get me wrong. A lot of students just either aren't active on social media or they feel like specifically they're not being heard. Like a really big thing for me is I'm in a sorority on campus, and I know a lot of girls that I talk to always have really specific problems with student government, but they really feel like, you know, they don't want to like just DM the Instagram or like just go to one tabling event. So I was thinking just individual outreach to RSOs on campus, like rather than just tabling, like maybe going to a club meeting or something like that. It's something I definitely have to look into more on the logistics, but just anything to promote student engagement, honestly.
All right, I'll do Lazo and then Metellus.
Well, first to answer like your previous confusion or previous question about that you just mentioned. So a lot of senators are assigned either to a sorority or invite sororities to meetings. So we do have that method of outreach. And then for my question, I wanted to see if you can elaborate a little bit more on any specific representative or like student government on the collegiate level experience that you may have.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for that information, by the way. That's very helpful to know. I don't have any student government experience on the collegiate level, but in my high school, I was super involved. I was my student body representative for my sophomore and junior years. And then as I've kind of transitioned into college, I've been really kind of looking for a way in, hence like why I applied for this. As for just like other collegiate extracurriculars, like I said, my sorority, I'm in a pre-law association. I'm actually in 2, and I'm also on the crochet club. And yeah, just basically anything to like really gain more experience in the specific field. Yeah.
Metellus.
So Deputy of Senate Relations appoints certain RSOs to senators. Do you have any RSOs in specific that you would like to work with?
Honestly, there are some that I'm more interested in than other, like anything related to like political science, pre-law associations, anything like that. But honestly, I really want to kind of expand my knowledge about all the kind of RSOs that we have, and see, you know, just like, I don't want to say see what people are interested in, but see like exactly how far this campus is stretched across its student body, like see how many different RSOs there are, see how like what they're focused on specifically, and like how they all interact and work with each other.
All right, I'm gonna go Hendry because I have to mark you here.
Yes, present and voting.
All right, Senator Hendry, present and voting, so noted at 7:07 p.m. And then Hamid.
Hello. So do you know any of the statutory requirements to be a senator?
Yes, I would like to think that I have memorized Title III by now with how much I've read it. I know that you have to have, like you have to be within the college that you're representing. And then it's like something else specific that I actually don't remember. So I actually just went right back on my word. And just that you have to attend like every meeting, if I'm correct.
All right, Varela.
Move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now in debate. Is there anyone wishing to speak in debate? We gotta have a couple. All right, Shen and then Varela.
I will be voting in favor of Blessman. I think even though a lot of her initiatives, at least, are things that I think, you know, I've already done in some way, I think the fact that she came in with so many initiatives is great, and I can tell she's passionate about it. Her just mentioning that she was reading over Title III, that stands out to me. I mean, I don't think a lot of people do that. So I encourage you all to vote in favor.
Varela.
Yeah, I agree with Senator Shen. I was really impressed that she was able to like say like I read Title III. A lot of people before Senate don't even know what Title III is, so that was really impressive. And I really liked her passion to be a senator. I'm sure she'll find good initiatives when she's here and once we can teach a little bit. But yeah, I'll be voting in favor. And I encourage you all to do the same.
Gumarov. Oh, did you not? Sorry. Not first. My bad. Oh no, I put mine up. Green.
Yeah, in a similar vein to the previous two senators, I do like the fact that she researched the different committees available. Being that I'm currently on the GAP committee, I definitely appreciate that. So yeah, I will be voting in favor.
All right. Seeing 3 in affirmation, are there any in negation? Seeing none, Chair DeCaro.
Motion to vote.
There's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now on vote procedures. All right, with a vote count of 33 to 2 to 0, congratulations. Okay, and I believe we have a justice in the back for swearing in. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I look forward to working with everyone.
Wait, she's virtual. Don't know how that would work. That's totally my bad.
Trinity, I just sent you a message, so just take a look at that and then you'll be good.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. All right. Also, if I'm looking over to the side, it's because my time is on my phone and I'm looking at the time. All right, next up we have Anna Valek for Director of Communication. And is she in person? Okay. Very nice.
No, I'm
All
on. Hello.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So whenever you're ready, you have 5 minutes.
Right, awesome. Good evening, everyone. My name is Anna Valek, and I'm so excited to be appointed as this year's Director of Communications. You might recognize me as this past year's Graphic Design Coordinator or a member of SGLC and ELC the year prior. Overall, student government has been a significant and great part of my college career so far. I am currently a junior event management major with a minor in strategic communications, and I have a passion for creativity and digital communication. Starting in high school, I was in charge of promotion for my school's yearbook and school store, and I love being able to promote students' hard work to their intended audience and use my creativity to bring students' visions to life. I applied for graphic design coordinator last year to continue this passion, and I hope this year to continue and progress last year's initiatives. Through my time on the communications team last year, I learned an effective promotion schedule, the importance of deadlines, and how best to work with the graphic design coordinator and digital media coordinator. As a director of communications, I will work closely with the digital media and graphic design coordinators to create informative, accessible, and attractive promotions of student government resources and initiatives. I will also use my time to create positive communication and perception of student government with and to the student body. In this position, among other initiatives, I intend to initiate bi-weekly meetings with branch heads, work with Senate's ELA and Judicial's External Assistant Chief Justice to create periodic newsletters to update the student body, increase exposure of completed events and initiatives through social media, and maintain a 10-day posting schedule, communicating with SG agents to ensure each event and service is given enough time for campus-wide outreach. Overall, I am so honored by this opportunity, and I hope to work with all of you to create a positive and communicative team this year. Thank you so much, and I yield the rest of my time to questioning.
All right, we are now in line for questioning. Are there any questions for the candidate? All right, Richmond.
You kind of touched on this in your speech, but how frequent would you want to meet with the ELA? I guess myself. And then are you comfortable with continuing the Senate newsletters?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I believe right now my plan is bi-weekly, so once every 2 weeks, but we can meet together to make sure that that is an appropriate amount of time. If you want to meet weekly, I will be able to make the time or just add whatever meetings whenever necessary. Also, yes, I do want to continue the Senate newsletters and make it easier for you to convey that information to me, or we can work together to make a newsletter that we could send out to the student body.
Are there any other questions? No questions? Colazo.
Yeah, so my question for the candidate is, what is your plan when it comes to NQ requests?
Thank you. I appreciated last year's NQ request process because I was able to have direct communication between myself and the requesting party, as well as the director of communications was able to oversee the whole process. I want to continue that this year and make sure that all of SG is understanding of how to request any promotion from us. So I will continue the NQ requesting process and work with everyone to make sure that we're all on the same page on how to request it. And I'm also open to any suggestions. If that doesn't seem to work anymore, we can work together to create a better solution.
Waterberg and then Varela.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to raise my hand. I'm sorry.
Okay, Varela.
Obviously this year is an important election year. So how do you plan, you and your team, I guess, plan to promote things like civic engagement, like on campus, like such as, or how will your team implement things like voting dates, voting locations at UCF?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as student government, it's very important for us to promote civic engagement within the student body. I plan to work, because this is such an important election year, to work with the government affairs coordinator to create a plan to reach out to the most students to get people to register to vote, and more information about how to be more involved, as well as with the GAP committee. I think overall, just reaching out to whatever party is necessary to make sure that we can communicate as much as possible with the student body.
All right, I'll do Caringle and then Colazo. Also, there's 2 minutes remaining in questioning.
Good motion to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Is that an objection, Green? Or, okay. Seeing none, we are now in debate. All right, Richmond.
I will be speaking in favor of Anna. She was amazing last year. I'm sure she'll only be better this year. I'm very excited to continue to meet bi-weekly. Hopefully not any sooner. Hopefully nothing will come up to where it's that urgent. She did amazing last year. I think I already said that, but that's just how amazing she did. So I think everyone should vote in favor.
All right, I'm seeing new hands. So I'll do Vasquez and then Johnson.
I'll also Hello? Okay. I'll also be speaking in favor of this candidate. I think highlighting the importance of communication between the branches is really important. I know both of the committees that I sit on, we've all talked about having things posted on social media to reach a lot of engagement with students, because that is really important for us to reach students, because obviously social media is really important for that. And I think the candidate's openness to collaboration is really important. So I'll be voting in favor.
Johnson.
I'll be voting in favor of this candidate. As being a former election commissioner, it was really great to work with Anna. I loved the designs. I am an avid follower of our Instagram, and I think that she did such an amazing job. She was also in my SGLC class, and she was wonderful. So, oh my gosh, this is my first time speaking up here. I'll be voting in favor of you, Anna. Thank you.
All right, seeing 3 in affirmation. Are there any in negation? Seeing none, Chair DeCaro.
Motion to vote.
There's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now in voting procedures. With a vote count of 37 to 0, congratulations, Director of Communications Valid. I guess same thing for you that you'll get with the justice to get confirmed. And then Benesh.
Present and voting.
Senator Benesh, present and voting, so noted at 7:21 p.m. Blessman.
Present and voting.
Senator Blessman, present and voting, so noted at 7:21 p.m. All right, moving on. Next, we have Gabriela Polera for the Governmental Affairs Coordinator. Who's in person? In person? Yes, head nods. Hamid?
That was an accident, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, you have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
Okay. Good evening, Senate. Thank you all for investing your time and considering me this evening. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Gabriela Polera, and I'm an appointee for the Governmental Affairs Coordinator position. I'm a rising senior majoring in psychology, minoring in legal studies, and pursuing a certificate in litigation advocacy. I'm originally from New Jersey, but I moved to Central Florida about 7 years ago. I went to high school right down the street at Haggerty. In high school, I had the privilege of serving as a jury member, defense attorney, and prosecutor for the Seminole County Teen Court Program. Engaging in volunteer work and immersing myself in law classes in high school deepened my commitment to advocate for others. When I was in high school, my older brother enrolled at UCF and was immediately immersed in a world of diverse opportunities, ranging from a variety of RSOs to club and intramural sports teams, as well as research opportunities alongside esteemed professors. Upon visiting UCF myself, I was captivated by the array of offerings. This university has provided me with a wealth of resources and experiences to pursue my passions, and I'm eager to share with you some of the pivotal moments that have contributed into shaping me into the knight that I am today. To begin, I worked at the Dean's Office for the College of Community Innovation Education. In this role, I had the honor of being the welcoming face of UCF stationed at the front desk. It was my responsibility to greet and assist community leaders, providing them with their initial impressions of our institution. I worked at the Dean's Office here at the main campus and then also at the downtown campus. And in looking for ways to get involved at the downtown campus, I joined the mediation team. I had the opportunity to travel to Gainesville, Georgia, where I proudly competed as a representative of UCF at Brenau University. Additionally, I held the esteemed position of president within the mediation team, and in this role, I not only mentored my teammates, but I also emphasized the crucial value of impartiality, a quality that is crucial to the responsibilities of the Governmental Affairs Coordinator position. In my sophomore year, I was selected for the Legislative Scholars Internship Program. It's a nonpartisan initiative that places students in state legislative offices or lobbyist offices during Florida's legislative session. I was stationed in Tallahassee for the spring semester, working alongside the Senate President pro tempore, Dennis Baxley. Throughout my time there, I forged meaningful connections with state and community leaders, legislative aides, constituents, and beyond. This experience not only allowed me to proudly represent UCF, but it also facilitated the acquisition of new skills and a comprehensive understanding of our state government's intricate mechanisms. Upon returning from Tallahassee, I started working here at UCF at the Office of the President. In this role, I had the pleasure of meeting with university leadership and working with an incredible team. Shortly after, I was appointed and confirmed as a senator for the College of Sciences. Then within months, I was elected as the vice chair for the Governmental Affairs and Policy Committee. In this role, I collaborated closely with the chair to spearhead initiatives such as tabling to promote the Student Priority Survey, aiming to maximize student participation and gather their input on policy issues that they deemed crucial for us to advocate for during day at the Capitol. In the fall semester, I also had the honor of being invited back to Tallahassee to work as a legislative aide for the President Pro Tem. Throughout this previous legislative session, I contributed to various administrative, research, and public relations tasks. Engaging with numerous constituents and community leaders, I acquired insights and knowledge into the state government. This past session was particularly poignant as it marked the conclusion of my senator's tenure. Notably, he holds the distinction of being the first Floridian to ever serve as the Speaker Pro Tem and the President Pro Tem in the Florida legislature. My tenure on Team Baxley for 2 sessions proved to be transformative, allowing me to hone my leadership, public relations, legislative research, public policy, government relations, and project management skills. These experiences have been instrumental in shaping my college journey and molding me into the leader I am today. With this foundation, I am confident in my ability to surpass the expectations associated with this role. My unwavering commitment lies in advocating for the student body within the realm of lobbying, ensuring that all voices resonate across all echelons of government. Moreover, my adeptness at orchestrating events and continually enhancing them positions me well to drive further improvements. I also look forward to collaborating with the Cabinet, the GAP Committee, and UCF administrators. What did you say?
1 minute remaining.
Thank you. I look forward to working with the Cabinet, the GAP Committee, and UCF administrators to host events to enhance public awareness and civic engagement. I'm well suited for this role because of my extensive experience working in state government and my thorough knowledge of the lobbying process. I'm eager to contribute to the university that has given so much to me. I'm dedicated to serving as a voice for students and ensuring that their concerns are acknowledged, effectively communicated, and acted upon. It would be a privilege to take on the role of the Governmental Affairs Coordinator. I appreciate your time and consideration. Thank you. I yield my time for questioning.
All right, we are now in line for questioning. We'll do Hamid and then Gumrov.
Hello, Ms. Polera. Thank you for being here tonight. So I see in your initiatives on that you talk about the Give Some, Get Some event that SBA hosted last session. A lot of it kind of describes how the event was last year, but you described wanting to support Knights Pantry instead. Can you describe how you would play a role in that event as the GAC and how you would possibly want it to improve?
Yes, thank you so much for the question, Chair Hamid. So I had brought that up in my proposal because initially that's an initiative under this administration with Bryson Brawley. And so that's an initiative that they wanted to work with Knights Pantry. So we could either do another Give Some event, like specifically working with Knights Pantry. We could have like separate events. Definitely something to look into working with SBA, but I would definitely be open to helping my cabinet members, helping run the event, like help in any ways I can. And so I look forward to reaching out to Knights Pantry, to getting their involvement and just making the event better as a whole.
Gumrov.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. And my question is, we all love having an involved student, but I just wanted to know what other commitments you would have outside of this particular position for this session.
Yeah, thank you so much for the question. I completely understand. So I don't have too many commitments at the moment. I am taking summer classes, and then I volunteer, which is on a bi-weekly basis. But other than that, all my time would strictly be dedicated to Governmental Affairs Coordinator.
Varela and then Quartz.
Can you discuss some ideas you have to get better voter engagement, civic engagement from the student body?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for the question, Vice Chair Varela. So I definitely want to work with Knights Vote. If I am to be confirmed, then I would love to meet with Amanda Dever because the Governmental Affairs Coordinator is a co-chair for Knights Vote, the university-wide committee. And so I would look forward to working with them. And then I know GAP has also lots of initiatives for different events for voter engagement. So between working with Knights Vote and then working with GAP, and of course, working with the comms team to get things posted on the social media, I'd love to just be able to get more students registered, get more students voting, and just like educated on voting.
Quartz.
Hi, so I see that in the past, you had said that in the past that the debates held between the college Dems and Republicans were both respectful and germane, but could you go more into detail about the initiatives you hope to put in place to make sure it stays that way?
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for that question. So this is an event of my predecessor. It's from a few GACs ago. It didn't happen this year, but I am looking forward to continuing the event. And so there are mediators put in place. The last time the event was held, I believe it was the Senate president that actually more so hosted and facilitated the discussion. So I'd be open to doing that. I have talked about the GAP chair. I've talked to the GAP chair who's also interested in meeting in the conversation. So definitely making sure that we have other students there that can just like make sure that the conversation is germane to the debate and make sure that everyone's being respectful and professional, make sure that nobody's interrupting each other, having people there to time it. There will be a lot of like student leaders in place to make sure that the conversation goes well.
All right, we'll do Richmond, and we also have 1.5 minutes left in questioning.
Two, if I may. Like it's kind of like a compound question.
Okay.
Okay, so like they both go off of each other, so I'm just saying them both, but kind of going off of what Kirsten said, how are your relations with the different political RSOs, and how do you plan on engaging with them throughout the year, especially since this is such a pivotal year?
Yeah, thank you so much for the question. So basically, I have already reached out to the different leaders for the political RSOs just to introduce myself. I've notified them that I've been appointed, so if I am confirmed to this position, I would definitely want to meet with them early on in the summer just to engage with them, to build that relationship, to discuss our goals and our vision for the upcoming year. And then I would look forward to inviting them to all the events that I plan on hosting and that GAP plans on hosting. I would get them involved with Knights Vote since they will have representatives that sit on that committee. So definitely getting them engaged and having them also promote the events, I think will really help.
All right, we have about 20 seconds left in questioning. Gumrov.
Motion to extend by 2 minutes.
There's been a motion to extend questioning by 2 minutes. Are there any objections? Seeing none. Vasquez.
Hi. My question is, as someone who's been to 3 Day at the Capitals now, I've seen improvements upon the event every year. So what are some improvements you hope to make at this year's event?
Yeah, thank you so much for the question, Chair Vasquez. So I definitely want to work with GAP to improve the student priority survey. I talked a little bit about that during ENA, so I won't go into that too much. But also just getting more legislators involved, having a higher attendance of them at our reception. I'd love to see a more diverse group of attendees go to Day at the Capitol, getting lots of representation from the different colleges, from the different RSOs, and all the things that are to do on campus. And so also working with the previous GACs. So I have great relationships with the 3 previous governmental affairs coordinators. And so they've been able to mentor me throughout this process. So I think talking to them a lot about what they would do differently, things that they like, things that they didn't like about when they ran the event, as well as, of course, I'm totally open to hearing what everyone has to say, whether they've been to Day at the Capitol or they haven't been yet, but they have many ideas. I definitely think I would like to start by creating like a Google form or a survey that I would send out to the previous attendees that attended Day at the Capitol this year and just talk to them, have them rate their experience, things that they liked, didn't like, things that they would want to see done differently. So I think that that would put me in a good starting place to make changes to Day at the Capitol and make better improvements.
All right, about 1 minute remaining in questioning. Gumrov.
Yeah, so I know it may not be a main concern, but just a question I had was because it's such a pivotal year and there is a lot of sensitive things going on surrounding this coming election, do you plan on working closely with any kind of safety coordinators just to make sure that all these events go by, safe?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for the question. I definitely want to work with UCFPD and our safety and transportation coordinator, whether it's for the debate with the political RSOs or any voter education events that we have in conjunction with the GAP committee. Definitely want to make sure we're prioritizing student safety, keeping everyone safe as things can get controversial and heated, especially with this upcoming election cycle. So I would definitely work with the coordinator and with UCFPD to make sure everyone's safe.
All right, questioning time has elapsed. Carringle.
Motion to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now in debate. All right, we'll do Banesh, and then Hamid, and then Colazo.
All right. Hello, everybody. I will be voting in favor of this candidate. Something that really caught my attention was her improvements to the Day of the Capitol. As somebody who's never been in student government before this year, that's like the one thing that really caught my eye going into this. And just hearing about how she wants to improve it really, I don't know, it seems pretty cool. So I will be voting in favor, and I encourage you guys to do the same.
Hamid.
I will also be speaking in favor of this candidate. I feel like her extensive knowledge of the current political system, along with her experience with Senator Baxley, is unmatched. Senator Baxley, whether you agree with his political views or not, has so much knowledge as both the Senate President pro tempore and the Senate President. I feel like that's just amazing, and her experience there has probably brought her a lot of connections, a lot of information, a lot of amazing things to share with new people. I know that I'm new to Day at the Capitol, so I know that I'll definitely need some of that knowledge about how all that works. I also know that this is kind of not something brought up, but I know that she works amazingly with the current GAP chair. They're literally like, I think kind of the best duo, maybe kind of tied with me and Andrea. But like, I feel like that's never really discussed because the GAP chair and the GAC most likely probably don't know each other, but because they kind of have that really built-in connection already, I know that they're going to do so many amazing things together if the candidate is confirmed. So I really hope that she is confirmed. So I will be voting in favor, and I encourage you all to do the same.
Colazo. Not anymore?
No, sorry, I just didn't unmute myself.
Okay. We'll do. Oh wait. Oh, you didn't unmute. Oh, sorry. So you are going.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
So I will be voting for this candidate. This candidate has very extensive experience. I was not present when ENA saw her, so I didn't vote during ENA, but I will be voting in favor of this candidate. If you don't know, myself and both Polaris went to high school together. We were in Spanish Honor Society together. So I'm really, really fortunate enough to see them grow into these leadership positions.
All right. With 3 in affirmation, are there any in negation? Hall, or are you speaking in negation?
More just because I'm currently kind of in the abstain route. I definitely think that the nominee is very qualified. And I think that something that I believe it was Chair Hamid said is something that I think works in their favor, that they clearly have a good relationship with the chair of the GAP committee. And I speak as a former GAP chair myself, that's very critical in everything that they do. More so just to kind of why I'm still hesitant is making sure that we're doing everything that we can to make November as successful as possible and just kind of the upcoming year. I know that there was talk specifically about kind of the RSO debate that tends to happen. As someone who's done 3 of those, it was a platform that SG created that allowed an RSO to call the other RSO, to be blunt, groomers, as well as question the role that immigrants play in our country in relation to claiming that they commit a lot of crime. So I would just caution everybody. I think it's very quick to want to do a big flashy debate. And I do think if we do go forward with something like that, it'd be great for GAP to actually be like involved in that compared to past years. But at the same time, like, I just hope that this nominee and kind of Senate and student government as a whole are all as dedicated as possible to make sure that we're not using our platform in a negative way.
All right. Almanar, are you speaking in negation?
More so similar remarks as Senator Hall. I know in the past few years, the debate between college Republicans and college Democrats have gone the wayside and not have happened recently. And so we're a few years removed from the debates that have happened, and that there's not only just 2 sides of the political spectrum on campus, there are other political organizations that I believe should be reached out to and kept in considerations when it comes to debates. We also do find ourselves in an election year where we have a very strong independent candidate running. So that's something to think about when it comes to something about the debates. Currently, I am going to be abstaining.
All right, debate time has elapsed. So is there a motion? Vasquez, is there a motion?
Will you be seeing any more in affirmation?
No, I don't know if I can do that, but well, we would need a motion anyways, but is a, I don't know. If I can't hear.
Yeah, you can take as many pieces of debate as you want.
So then
Okay, so we would still need a motion.
Can I extend debate by 2 minutes?
There's been a motion to extend debate by 2 minutes. Are there any objections? Seeing none, Vasquez.
I wanted to speak in affirmation of this candidate. I mean, I don't really know where to start. Like Chair Hamid said, we already have a great relationship, not only in this chamber, but also outside of it. I've gotten to know Ms. Polera on a very personal level. So I have no doubt in my mind that our collaboration is going to go above and beyond past GAPS and GACS relationships. So I think all of our events will go incredibly well. We've already been discussing a lot of event ideas, so we will pick up with the ball rolling. So I encourage everyone to vote yes.
Okay, I'll do Shen and Gumarov. Keep in mind, we have 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining.
I will be speaking in favor of this candidate. I think it's clear. I've been in Senate for a very short time, but I think it's clear that she is the most qualified for this role. I think concerns about limiting debates are a little bit silly personally. I think you have to have debates. I do think it's a good idea to include independent candidates, but I think they will be maintained safely, and it would be silly not to have debates.
All right, we'll do Gumarov. Let's just make sure we're respectful of everyone's opinions. Gumarov.
Can I extend debate by 1 minute?
There's been a motion to extend debate by 1 minute. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we have 1 minute and 30 seconds left in debate. Did you debate, Gumarov?
Yeah, I did. Sorry. So I will be speaking in favor. While I do resonate with Hall and other senators' concerns about debates and kind of how they're going to go, I don't know if that necessarily correlates with this particular candidate, and I don't know if past experiences can really negotiate how she's going to handle it. And so I'm also a part of the GAP committee, and she's been there with us from day one, and she I believe that she's just going to be a really good resource for us. And like I said, I have full confidence that she can handle whatever past experience may have not gone over so well, so I'll be voting in favor.
All right, Lazo, you have about 1 minute remaining.
May I retain?
No, because Chair DeCara has to make the motion.
Okay, then basically, there really is there's no reason not to vote in favor of this candidate. They're so experienced, they're so knowledgeable, and they're already dedicated to that relationship between GAP and planning for GAC. Speaking to the issue of debates, I don't think that interferes with the ability of the candidate to do and perform their duties as the GAC, which is really what we're here to confirm. And other than that, I will be voting in favor, and I encourage you all to do so.
All right, is there anyone else wishing to speak in debate? Seeing none, Chair DeCara.
Motion to vote.
There's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now on voting procedures. With a vote count of 38 to 0 to 2, congratulations, Gak Palera. All right, moving on. Sorry guys about debate, affirmation, negation, talk. I'm still learning the ropes. I was just confused for a second, but that's totally my bad. All right, moving on. Jasmine Kaur, I'm gonna mispronounce the last name. Jasmine Kaur for Diversity and Inclusion Coordinator. I'm very sorry if I mispronounced that. All right, and whenever you're ready, you have 5 minutes. Is the mic on? You still can't hear?
Is it working now?
Yes, it is. Thank you, guys. All right, whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, Senate. I am so glad again to have this opportunity to speak to all of you guys today. My name is Jasmine Carr, and I am majoring in health sciences on the pre-med track with an IT and a diversity studies minor. I'm currently a rising junior. From the moment I set foot on campus, I have been inspired by the diversity and vibrancy of the UCF community. Coming from being raised in a small cultural community, I sought a place where I could find connection, purpose, and a true sense of belonging. UCF has not only provided me with enriching academic environment, but with also a platform to engage in meaningful advocacy and leadership. From starting my own cultural dance team, I have been able to bring a new group of people together that have been able to find their place on campus. After this experience, I wanted to continue to help other people find a place where they are comfortable, heard, and seen. As I served on the Equity Advisory Committee for 2 years for Seminole County, I worked with school board members, principals, teachers, and counselors. After serving on this committee, I truly was able to better understand the meaning and difference between equity and equality. Throughout my time here, I have been actively involved in various student organizations and initiatives that celebrate and promote diversity, such as the Indian Student Association, Naimer Bhangra and Punjabi Student Association, and many more. Also, through my time in Student Government Leadership Committee, I was able to learn from the past DNI coordinator as her mentee. She was able to teach me and explain to me the importance of her role on campus and the daily work that needs to be put into her role to become successful within cabinet. These experiences have taught me the importance of inclusivity, empathy, and proactive engagement. Many of my student government mentors have helped shape me into the person who is always willing to learn and grow. I have seen firsthand how diverse perspectives enrich our community and drive innovation and understanding. As I stand before you today, I am driven by a vision to create a more inclusive and welcoming environment for all students. If confirmed as your diversity and inclusion coordinator, I will work tirelessly to ensure that every student feels valued and respected. My goal is to foster a campus culture that not only acknowledges but celebrates our differences, creating a space where everyone can thrive. I want to focus on the students in any way I am able to create and help and impact their lives. In this role, I plan to, number one, promote cultural awareness and sensitivity by continuing to host the Cultural Fusion Fest. The Cultural Fusion Fest provided a space for cultural clubs representing various identities to showcase their heritage through performances, displays, and interactive activities. This event will be similar to this past year with increased attendance and increased performance rates. Number two, encourage inclusive practices. I plan to organize a series of panel discussions or forums that explore the intersections of identities such as race, gender, sexuality, and socioeconomic status to foster understanding and dialogue among the UCF community. This will be a great networking opportunity for students. In order to incentivize attendance, we will be offering giveaways and we'll plan accordingly. Number three, foster a supportive community. I plan to work with the Multicultural Student Center to collaborate to create events on campus that cater to the UCF student body.
The main goal is to create events that accurately represent and celebrate the many cultures represented by the student population. I also plan to continue to collaborate with UCF CAPS. As part of this initiative, I will maintain close communication and collaboration with Adam Mayer, Director of Student Accessibility and Services, as established by the previous Diversity and Inclusion Coordinator. This partnership will ensure continuity and addressing the needs of marginalized student communities and facilitate the implementation of effective support strategies. Lastly, to keep in collaboration with the students themselves, I am in full support of Bryson Brawley's initiative 100 organizations in 100 days, where I plan to keep in contact with these RSOs. This is
1
a great
minute remaining.
opportunity for not just for myself, but for the entire cabinet. It's definitely important for our cabinet to be diversified. I believe that diversity is our strength and inclusion is our responsibility. By embracing these values, we build a stronger, more vibrant UCF community where every student has the opportunity to succeed. I envision a campus where every student feels seen, heard, and empowered. I want to inspire others to embrace diversity and to take action in their own spheres of influence. Thank you, and I now yield my time for questioning.
All right, we are now in line for questioning. So I'll go Hamid and then Quartz.
Hello, thank you for being here tonight. So I don't think it has to be said that the state really does not like diversity and inclusion. There's a lot of barriers that are probably going to be placed in your way with that. How do you plan to navigate the different hurdles that you might come across when it comes to state legislation?
So thank you for asking your question. So with state legislation, there has been a couple battles that that universities do face with this. However, as it states, we are student governments funded by student dollars. And we are able to use that student dollar money to help us support our diversity and inclusion events, which will help keep our diversity and inclusion program running and strong. If any further hurdles do prepare or come in the way, I'm more than welcome to help and organize and collaborate with anyone that is able to help me. But because of that, we should be able to do and plan all of our events.
Hey, hi.
Next was Quartz.
Hi. I also see that you did answer this in the ENA confirmation, but could you expand more on how you plan on connecting with the caucuses?
Yes. So I definitely want to expand the caucuses, and I want to let the UCF student body population know that they're able to attend these caucus meetings, because this is what is going to create and help diversify our UCF population, because the first step is to understand everyone's perspectives. So if other people are able to know that they have this opportunity to sit on this caucus, that would be amazing. I do also plan myself to attend as many meetings as I can for different caucuses. Even if I'm not a part of it, I want to understand everyone's perspectives, and I want to see what I want to understand and make sure everyone else feels heard and help everyone in any way I can. So I'd love to be a part of this, and yeah, thank you.
All right. I'll do some new hands. I'll do Ganesh, and then we'll do Metellus.
Hi, thank you for speaking to us today. I was just wondering, you mentioned a lot about the cultural aspect of things. I was wondering, how do you plan on collaborating with disabled students? Because that is also a population that should be included in diversity and inclusion. I just wanted to know if you had any ideas.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for your question. So one of my main ideas, if confirmed, my first 30 days in this position, I want to reach out to the caucuses. I want to reach out to the Disability Caucus, and I want to hear their perspective. I want to know their initiatives, and I would love if they needed any help, they would come to me. That is my first step in order to see if that student population needs any help, or if I can be any help in inclusivity in any way possible.
Metellus.
All right. UCF has a lot of Greek organizations from many different cultures, especially in the Diversified Greek Council. Would you look into collaborating with these organizations as well as the RSOs that you've mentioned?
Yes, I 100% on plan on reaching out to them if confirmed to the position. I do have a couple of connections and friends and a couple of them, so that does make it a little bit easier to reach out to some of them. But I do plan on involving them in our events because I think that's such an important part of UCF student body. There's so many students that hear their perspectives in those diversified Greek councils. I do plan on reaching out to them. And other RSOs as well through the 100 RSOs in 100 Days initiative.
All right, next we have about 1 minute in questioning also. I haven't seen Valero and then Varela.
When you mentioned interactive workshops in your proposal, do you have any ideas in mind, or is it just more open right now and you kind of narrow it down later down the line?
So I did mention interactive workshops into both of my initiatives. With the Cultural Fusion Fest, the interactive workshops would include, I want to call the caucuses to see if they want a table, because I want to have kind of a tabling event, or if they want to have their information out there. So like that. I like an interactive workshop would be anything where people can give out goodies, people can initiative and participate like that. Also last year in the Cultural Fusion Fest, we had a map where everyone pinned in the world where they're from. And I thought that was really cool. And I want to do things like that again. Just like that, I would do it for the intersectional dialogue panel. But I am open to more ideas too, if those don't seem appealing to anyone.
All right. I know I called on Varela, but we're going to need a motion.
Motion to extend questioning by 2 minutes.
You said 2 minutes? There's been a motion to extend questioning by 2 minutes. Are there any objections? Seeing none, 2 minutes remaining in questioning.
It's my turn to question, right?
Yes,
Right.
Varela.
Can I ask two because they're related?
You may.
All right, cool. My first question is, I see in your initiative you spoke a little about in your speech about more collaboration with CAPS. Can you expand on that?
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
All right. I saw in your initiatives and your speech some collaboration with CAPS. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, of course. So part of this role would be to work with CAPS as well. And this was already an initiative that the previous D&I coordinator had, and she worked really well with it. I was able to see how she worked with CAPS and how she planned initiatives with them, and kind of just making sure that students understand that they have this resource available to them. Because a lot of the time, the problem is that students aren't aware about these resources and this amazing opportunity we have, because it's such a big campus. There's so many students. So my main goal would try to be to push that resource and work with them in that way. And any initiative that they want to work with, I'm open to that as well.
Awesome.
All right.
Second
that
question?
was your second. Sorry.
Yeah, my second question.
Go ahead. We have 1 minute remaining.
Okay, sorry. For my second question, would you be open to working with senators or other caucuses to expand CAPS programs for seminars for kind of unique mental disorders or distresses like transfer shock?
Yes, I would want to work with initiatives like this. And my plan is to reach out to all the caucus chairs in the first, if confirmed in the first 30 days, so I can get a plan on their initiatives as well and see if they need any help from me or any support from me that I can give them. I'm more than happy to do that and work with them in that aspect.
All right. Questioning time has elapsed. So is there a motion?
Motion to extend questioning by 5 minutes.
There's been a motion to extend questioning by 5 minutes. Are there any objections? Seeing none, 5 minutes remaining in questioning. Oh, shoot. I forgot to call on someone. Richmond.
This is kind of a follow-up on a different question. When you were asked about partnering with Disability Caucus, you said you do that with the first 30 days, but because we won't have caucuses for a little while, because we have to wait until the justices are confirmed, do you have any other plans of how to reach different sections of the population which is within UCF without the caucuses, like reaching out to RSOs or anything?
Yes, thank you for your question. I would, yes, want to reach out to different RSOs to help. This is 100% part of the plan to help them with their initiatives as well. And if they want to plan something, I would love to help student government exec come to their events, help them plan their events, any resources that they might need. If they need people, if they need information, I want to let them know that I'm here for them, that student government is here for them, executive branch is here for them, and we're all here in support. We're all in support of the same thing, that we're all students and we're all here.
All right, next, Lazo.
2, if I may.
You may.
So my first, can you give me, or how would you plan on perhaps sharing money with the caucuses, or if that's in your plans at all?
Yes, thank you for the question. So if confirmed into this position, I will see what I can do to allocate the budget once received and see what I can do for the caucuses. I want to help the caucuses in any way I can. I want to support them in any way I can, whether it's time, money. So I will see what I can do to allocate for budget, for funding, if possible, once confirmed, if confirmed.
And then my second question, this was previously asked in ENA, but I was wondering if we could get a little bit more elaboration on how exactly you would mediate or maybe include religious organizations as well as mediate any conflicts that they may have.
Yeah, of course. So within religious organizations, if we're talking about RSOs, that is 100% in me reaching out to them, helping them with initiatives. I am not here to pick any sides. I fully am student focused. I want to help them with any of their needs, any of their problems in any way I can. So like that, I would do that with the same way I would do with the cultural associations, the cultural groups. I want to do with the religious groups as well. We're not here to discriminate, and I want to be able to help anyone as I can.
All right, Kumrov.
Yeah, so my question would be, how do you plan, or do you have any specific initiatives on making sure that you reach first-time college students and anyone that's kind of transferring in, and just so that they know that you have you are a position, that you do exist, and you are here to help make students feel more comfortable? Do you have any specific initiatives regarding orientation?
Yes. So my initiatives on my proposal have tentative dates, both in spring. However, this is 100% can be changed. And if we do plan an initiative in fall, maybe an intersectional dialogue panel, or even the cultural club showcase, where we can have different groups. And like you said, transfer students, we could have the new transfer caucus come in and table there. And then like that, we can to have that initiative postponed, like are pre-planned in the fall. Yes, I'm willing to do that. But yeah, I hope that answers your question.
We have 1 minute remaining in questioning. Varela.
Motion to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now in debate. All right, so I'm trying to get new ones. Bolero. And then Metellus.
I'm going to speak in favor of this candidate. I think they are extremely well prepared. I think they answer all of our questions pretty well. And even things that they haven't planned for yet, I think that they're willing to do so. And I think they're going to be a really good advocate for people and for diversity at UCF. So I'm definitely voting in favor.
Metellus.
I will be voting in favor for this candidate. They answered every question with a lot of details. I like that they have a plan for everything, even things that we might not have seen in the proposal, things that we questioned them about that weren't there. They still had an answer to those questions and had an idea. And I like how they were very professional and really presented themselves well, and I don't see any flaws with any of the proposals or anything that they had to bring to the table, and I believe that they have the passion to get them done. So I will be voting in favor and hope you guys do the same.
All right, and then Shen.
I will be abstaining. While I think the candidate is highly prepared for the role, I just feel like I have enough information. I feel like a lot of the initiatives she mentioned were from the past. And I just can't, I don't have enough to go off on.
I'll go courts.
Okay, so I will be voting in favor. I am, number one, I'm so proud of you. Number two, she was very passionate in what she wanted to do for cultural things. I do understand that she was a bit vague for disabilities and other things like that, but I feel like that really comes from getting info from those people because you really don't know until you meet anybody. So I will be voting in favor. I hope you guys do as well.
All right, I'll do Collazo.
So I'll be voting in favor of this candidate. This candidate and I go way back to high school. Miss Jasmine Carr was my student body vice president when I graduated. We walked the same stage. I am so happy to see her here in student government. I've been telling her to join since day one of us attending UCF. So I will be voting in favor of this candidate.
All right, I'll go Banesh.
I will be voting in favor of this candidate. Just like most other people said in affirmation, she seemed very knowledgeable about what she wants to do. I love all the initiatives that she described in her proposal. I do agree that she was a little bit vague when it came to disabilities, but then again, I don't know what she could be up to when, or I guess if she gets confirmed. So I'll vote in favor, and I encourage you guys to do the same.
All right, Shen, is your hand up still from the? All right, seeing no further debate, is there a motion, or do you chair to care?
Motion to vote.
There's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now in voting procedures. With a vote count of 33 to 1 to 3, congratulations, DNI Coordinator Carr. All right, I'm going to remind everyone of the time. All right, next up we have Sophia Lisman for the Safety and Transportation Coordinator. And then just make sure the mic is on, and then whenever you're ready.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for the opportunity to speak in front of all of you today. My name is Sophia Lisman, and I'm grateful to say that I'll be speaking as the appointee of the Safety and Transportation Coordinator position. As the youngest of four and first of my family go to college, I've always set high ambitions and goals for myself. As I was learning how to accomplish my goals, I realized the best way to do this is to let my values pave the way and set a standard. Growing up in a Venezuelan and Jewish household, my parents instilled in me the values of dedication, loyalty, compassion, and respect. I plan on integrating these values into the way I lead as a safety and transportation coordinator and as a member of the executive cabinet to help foster a healthy and welcoming environment within the team. During my freshman year of college, I have tried my best to get involved in as much as I can to try to find my place. I integrated myself in Nighthon as the event impact member. I rushed Zeta Phi Eta, the communications fraternity. I became the only freshman on the UCF Homecoming Volunteer Coordinator Board and even became the director of events for Quotes Ad PR Club. Each one of these experiences were amazing in their own way, but none of them compared being in student government. As the vice chair of the SGLC Experience Committee, I planned events for all of SGLC while also learning how to be a leader in student government. The day the executive branch came to the SGLC meeting, I knew I wanted to be part of cabinet, and I was ecstatic when I was placed in ELC. My Black and Gold project was chosen for execution, and during this process, I learned how to effectively put on an event at UCF. During ELC, I gained so many experiences that have helped me grow as a leader and make me feel prepared to take on a role within the executive cabinet. My entire life, I have been eminent in safety in an educational area. The Marjorie Stoneman Douglas tragedy altered my life in a way I never thought possible. This tragedy occurred on February 14, 2018, Valentine's Day. From that day forward, February 14th wasn't seen as a day of love, rather a day of sadness. Entering high school, I knew I wanted to make sure that this tragedy was always remembered, but also wanted to bring back a sense of safety to my high school. I went on to chair the Stoneman Douglas Day of Service and Love project for the following 3 years. This project made February 14th at my high school a non-instructional day filled with activities commemorating the tragedy, doing service acts, and most importantly, teaching about campus safety to my peers. My passion for campus safety stems from this project, and I brought this passion to UCF. I plan to bring this passion onto my initiatives as the Safety and Transportation Coordinator. One of the initiatives I am most passionate about is the emergency and active shooter training drills. By partnering with UCF PD, all faculty, staff, and RSO leaders will be mandated to attend at least one emergency and active shooter training drill that will include evacuation routes, emotional support training, and case-by-case scenario walkthroughs. This will help bring a sense of safety to our campus. Another initiative that I would like to implement would be adding a Walmart shuttle stop. Currently, the grocery shuttle only stops at Publix, which to many students is above their price range that they can spend on groceries. By partnering with UCF Parking Services, we can add a stop at Walmart so that students can buy more affordable groceries. Besides these two initiatives, I have so many ideas like attending SBA committee meetings and parking and transportation faculty committee meetings. And if confirmed as the Safety and Transportation Coordinator for the 24-25 academic year. Thank you, and I yield the rest of my time for questioning.
We are now in line for questioning. So let me look at the. All right. I'll do Metellus and then Gumrov.
All right, I saw that you had a digital map initiative. Would you be willing to advocate for key points on that map to also be bike racks and spin scooter parking for those that use micromobility on campus?
Thank you so much for your question. Of course, I would love to have, especially the spin locations. So helping with UCF IT, working with them to work with also the digital maps to make sure that spin locations and also bike racks and all those different aspects that aren't necessarily for cars or walking purposes to be implemented in the digital maps.
Next is Gumrov.
May I ask you?
You may.
Okay, so my first question would be, since we are kind of a public campus and there really is no entrance exit to this campus, do you have any specific initiatives on kind of just making sure that it is approved people who are on campus? Because I know that we've had just not a lot, but quite a few for the time period in the last couple months of just some safety issues.
Well, currently, yes. Thank you so much for your question. Well, currently, we do not have a specific way for students to be able to know like if they are a student besides their UCF ID. We do have UCF Alert, so just advocating for that and having more students be aware of that so they can be able to send in anything that they see that they feel may be a threat to campus. So having that and making that more aware for students can give them a sense of security and making our campus more safe.
Okay, and then my second question would be, just recently, even today, you can see in sort of whenever we have campus-wide events, do you have any kind of initiatives in place to just kind of make students aware of when they can park and where they can, depending on certain events that are happening around campus, especially during school hours?
Thank you so much for your question. And yes, so in my proposal, I do have an initiative about raising parking awareness by creating some sort of either digital or in-person flyer or map where it changes whether or not, and working with UCFIT to make sure that when the hours of when a student can park in a certain area, so it's much more accessible for students, so they could come in at a certain time and look up if they want to park at 4 p.m. They can see exactly what's the specific areas that they can park in with specific passes.
Shoot, sorry. We'll do Hamid.
May I ask 3 questions? I'm different, I'm sorry.
We have 2 minutes remaining in questioning.
May I make a motion
Yeah,
to
you
extend
can.
questioning as well, just in case?
You can make a motion if you'd like to.
Motion to extend questioning time by 3 minutes.
There's been a motion to extend questioning time by 3 minutes. Are there any objections? Seeing none, questioning has been extended by 3 minutes, so we now have about 5 minutes remaining in questioning.
All right. So thank you for being here tonight. I know that 2 of the initiatives that you mentioned in your speech and 4 on your proposal actually started SBA initiatives, being the emergency and active shooter training and the Walmart shuttle and the mirrors and garages and the improvement of lights on campus. Do you see these as initiatives that you'll work on by yourself, or are they to be continued as SBA collaborations?
Thank you so much for your question. I definitely believe that I will be attending as many SBA committee meetings as possible. And I 100% believe that we should be collaborating on these efforts as they first did start in SBA. So having that interbranch collaboration will be very good for these following projects, like you said, like the Walmart shuttle stop and the emergency shooter drill. Thank you.
My second question is, I know this was asked in ENA and you just talked about it, but can you expand more about how you plan to collaborate with SBA beyond coming to the meetings?
Yes, so by putting out Qualitrix surveys and then going to these meetings and talking about specifically what these students' responses to, let's say, the shuttles or the drills. So by working with the SBA chair and also just the committee in general, seeing what the students' needs are, specifically about safety and transportation, I would love to be able to collaborate with SBA on these events, potential events, or these initiatives.
And then for my third question, sorry. So I know you talked about MSD and the safety things that you did at Cypress High School. As an MSD alumni who was there when that thing happened, I appreciate you bringing this up, but can you kind of expand more about your role in that and kind of what you did and how you can bring that to your current role here?
Yes, thank you for your question. So I was the chair of MSD Day of Service and Love. It was a project put on at Cypress Bay High School, and I started chairing it my sophomore year. And my role specifically was planning the event, but what we did is we commemorated those who have passed, and we also held service projects, like we made dog toys for the Humane Society, and then there was a time where we had a what's the word? It's like where all the students gathered together so we could explain to them about different drills and different ways to be safe on campus and things that they should be looking out for. And during that process, I learned a lot about what we should be looking out for, not only in a high school setting, but many things that could be applied here in the collegiate level. Thank you for your questions.
All right, we have about a little over 2 minutes remaining in questioning. I'll go Alcuda.
Yeah, so I've also heard a lot of sentiments in UCF students that would like to see more shuttle stops, myself included. However, I was always under the impression that it would probably be extremely difficult to attain these initiatives or fund them. So could you please elaborate further on your plan to achieve those initiatives specifically, and have you considered the possibility that it may not be possible?
Yes, thank you so. Yes, thank you so much for your question. I definitely believe that there are going to be some challenges like there are to many initiatives, and working with parking and transportation services and seeing what their budget is and working with them to either expand this budget or seeing the best way to use these resources and use this budget to therefore be adding more shuttle stops, or particularly making a new route in one of these shuttles, because necessarily it doesn't have to be that there has to be a whole new shuttle, but we could just add more routes to existing shuttles, which could make the process cheaper. And definitely there are chances that this may not be possible, but 100% I will try my best to make it possible and do everything in my position as the safety and transportation coordinator to get these initiatives in place.
Thank you.
All right, we have less than a minute remaining. Lim.
Motion to extend questioning by 3 minutes.
There's been a motion to extend questioning by 3 minutes. Are there any objections? Seeing none, you have 3.5 minutes remaining in questioning.
Okay. Can you elaborate on your plan for expanding blue light on campus?
Thank you for your question. And yes, I believe that many places on campus, specifically Hercules and around the Academic Village and Libra, there aren't many blue lights in their vicinity, specifically in the areas that all the buildings face one another. In those areas, a lot of the blue lights are not there aren't many, and so I would like to work with the Department of Emergency Management, which is the department that handles the blue light phones, by working with them to see if we can place more in these areas. I know that currently based on location, the blue light has different amounts of how much it costs to place them there, but it costs about $50 a month to renovate them and just to keep them with the phone bill. To keep the phone bill running is about $50 a month, which includes all the regular maintenance checks. So working with the Department of Emergency Management to extend the blue lights into these areas that there aren't many.
All right, I'll do Vasquez.
Hi. Nowhere in your proposal or your speech did you mention working with the caucuses, such as the Disability Caucus. I feel like collaboration between you and the caucus would be really important. Do you plan on working with them at all?
Well, thank you so much for your question. Yes, for sure. If especially on one of my initiatives, that would be the ADA golf cart, working with the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Chair to attend these meetings would definitely be something that I would like to, in hopes, so we could work with the caucus to get this initiative up and running. But 100%, I do believe if there's anything that is safety and transportation that is talked about in the caucus, I would love to attend.
All right, Hall.
Hi, thank you for being here. Just one kind of quick question. As someone who also majored in emergency management, beyond specifically the blue lights, what other ways are you looking to try to work with the Department of Emergency Management? Just because I know the last safety and transportation coordinator was good with that, but it's kind of been on and off in past years.
Thank you so much for your question. I believe by working with emergency management, the Department of Emergency Management, there's really a wide range of things that I could do. Specifically right now, I've looked into the blue lights, but I've definitely, if appointed, I will be looking more of how I can work with them more in the future. I know by working with them on the blue lights, I'll be able to create that connection with them and then be able to work with them in the future on other projects. And like working with them on the UCF alert system, that will be a great way to further build that connection and be able to do for projects with them in the future. Thank you.
All right, questioning time is elapsed. So is there a motion? Shen. Richmond.
2 more minutes, extend by 2 minutes.
There's been a motion to extend questioning by 2 minutes. Are there any objections?
I object.
That was Colazo.
Yeah.
All right, Richmond, do you withdraw?
Yes.
All right. I forget where to go from here. Questioning time has elapsed. Is there a motion, or can I just go straight into debate? Colazo.
Motion to move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in debate. All right. I'll go Shen and then Legalbo.
I will be voting in favor of Lisman. I'm slightly concerned about the viability and possible student retaliation against the drill idea, but I think it's a smart idea overall. I also did want to note that the Walmart neighborhood market is directly across from the current public stop, like directly across from it. But if you're talking about the other Walmart, I could completely understand that. But overall, I think she showed a great passion, is beyond qualified for the role due to her prior experiences. I think she proved that beyond reasonable doubt.
Legalbo.
I'll also be voting in favor. I think she came in super prepared. Her proposal looked good. You can click on her link and see her resume and everything, and it all looked great. And I worked alongside her in the experience committee, and she's always been hardworking and always on top of everything. So I think she would be a great safety and transportation coordinator.
I'm gonna go with Lim.
So I will be speaking in favor of this candidate as I gotten the pleasure of knowing her throughout SJLC and seeing her passion and drive to engage with the student body through her prior experiences gives me full confidence. She's going to excel in this position, and she answered each question very thoroughly. So I urge y'all to vote the same.
All right, with 3 in affirmation, are there any in negation? DeCara?
I actually voted in favor during the ENA meeting, but after some questions I've heard, especially from one of the senators who's in the same major as me, and how like this response was something that was a very easy thing to talk about, but there was no mention of it. So, and then going over like just the past few days, just going over the proposal again with a few of the initiatives even being more questionable, I will be voting no. Just saying, if y'all look over it again and certain things that were said during debate, I have mentioned that you should look into that more. But yeah.
Metellus.
Am I able to speak in favor still?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I would like to speak in favor of this candidate. I have had the pleasure of befriending Sophia in SGLC, and I've even seen like in ELC how dedicated she is to this position and working as a mentee of the previous safety and transportation coordinator. And I'd like to highlight some of the initiatives that really stuck out to me, especially the speed bumps one. Like I'm a transportation engineering intern right now, and that was actually one of the things that I worked on in my internship. And like I can speak firsthand how like important that is, especially to the to the UCF community. And the mirrors in the parking garages as well. I'm sure many of us have experienced not being able to see around certain corners in the parking garages. And I really like that. I also liked her cross-branch collaboration and how dedicated she is to working with SBA, because a lot of these initiatives would be better with more hands on deck, and SBA would love to help out with a lot of these initiatives that can improve safety and transportation across campus. And I think we have a great candidate on our hands, and I will be voting in favor and encourage you guys to do the same.
All right, we have a little over 1 minute remaining in debate. I'll go Richmond.
My Wi-Fi is a little shaky, but I didn't hear her say anything about downtown campus shuttles, which has always been a big thing. But other than that, I really liked all of her ideas. She had a lot of ideas from SBA. A lot of that overlap was showed that she listens, which I think is crucial for this position. So I'll be voting in favor.
Gumrov.
Motion to vote.
Has to be the ENA chair. Lazo.
So while I will be abstaining, I would like to perhaps point a light or shine a light on the fact that a lot of the initiatives have been shared by SBA, and not to speak ill of any previous candidates, however, of any previous cabinet members, sorry. There has been issues where SBA has tried to collaborate on these initiatives, and in the past they were mentioned to the previous state transportation chair that were kind of met completely unmet. So I do have a little bit of an uncertainty about whether or not these are going to be met given the history, as well as how those ideas were come upon. However, I do appreciate the initiative taken, and I can only hope to see whether or not they are followed through. However, due to my connections with the SBA and with one of these initiatives, I will be abstaining due to very personal feelings about it.
Debate time has elapsed, so Collazo.
Move to vote.
It has to be the ENA chair. So.
I thought it could be either one of us.
Oh,
it just
can
has
it?
to be me.
Yeah,
Only if
no.
I'm not here. Can I just do it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Motion to
that's
vote.
my bad. Did you say it? I'm sorry. Okay.
Motion to vote.
Okay, that's my bad. I just didn't hear it. Just the computer. But there's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we are now in voting procedures. With a vote count of 29 to 2 to 8, congratulations, Safety and Transportation Coordinator Lisman. All right, Gumrov.
Sorry. So because I'm a little bit new to Senate, I just have a question for Speaker Pullman. With the time being already 8:30 and we do have a couple more confirmations to do, are we allowed to postpone a lot of them?
We are, and I was going to leave that kind of see where we're at. We're definitely not going to get to all of them. If you guys want to see if we can do one more, or if we might have time for one more. Yeah, but we're not going to have time for all of them because we do have a proclamation that's time sensitive. I think we might have time for one more, but we'll see. Yes, if you guys think it's rushed and you don't want to rush them, that's totally fine.
Yeah, I think we all think that it would be a little bit rushed in all the questioning and debate. So if we can just postpone the rest of them and then get to the proclamations.
All right. Someone's gonna have to make a motion.
Motion to postpone.
Wait, it cut out.
Motion to postpone the confirmation of Isabella Camarado, Sustainability and Innovation Coordinator, postpone Digital Media Coordinator, postpone Graphic Design Coordinator, and postpone Academic Affairs Coordinator and Deputy Pro Tempore of Legislative Affairs until the next meeting.
All right, there's been a motion to postpone the confirmations of Isabella Camarado, Marco Neto, Zoe Malone, Paniota Valiotis, and Elise Butler. Are there any objections? All right, seeing none, those are postponed. All right. Also, guys, just be patient with me. I'm trying to learn how to do this over. Sometimes it cuts in and cuts out, guys. I'm sorry, just be patient. All right. Internal legislation, notice of legislation on first reading, none. Notice of legislation on third reading, none. Notice of legislation on second reading. Bills, internal bill 5601, postponed. Internal bill 5602.
Wait, Elsie, can I
Updates
make a
to-
motion real quick?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
I'm so sorry for interrupting you, but would it be possible, or is everyone amenable to moving to proclamations first, since the proclamation is time sensitive compared to the internal bills and resolutions? Okay, seeing people agreeing. Motion to move to proclamation 5602.
There's been a motion to move to proclamation 5602. Are there any objections? I see a hand raised. Oh, sorry, that's yours. All right, seeing none, we are now at proclamation 5602. Oh, I have to do, oh, is there a motion for speeches, questioning, debate? Metellus.
Motion for 333.
There's been a motion for a 333. Are there any objections? Seeing none, Senator Jimenez Valero, you have 3 minutes.
Hey, hello everyone. I hope we're all having a good night. I know it's kind of long meeting. I'm going to keep this brief because I think the proclamation is pretty self-explanatory when you read it. It's just for us as student government to recognize June as LGBTQ plus Pride Month. The history of this month is really important as it dates back to 1969 when the Stonewall Uprising happened, which was when the police raided a gay bar in New York and the community fought back collectively. And a year later, in 1970, for a week in June, commemorations were held across the country in Chicago, LA, and New York. And then after that, people kept meeting in June just to commemorate this and to basically protest, and it got extended to a full month after that. When it comes to Orlando and Lake Central, Florida, we had our first Pride in 1991. It was kind of small, but we've kept growing. And in 2019, we had over 200,000 people. And we're actually trying to get a bid to host World Pride, I think in 2026. So that would be really good. I do want to note that Orlando Pride happens in October because we try to coincide it with National Coming Out Day, which is October 11th, I think. It doesn't happen during June, but June is still like the worldwide Pride Month, if that makes sense. It's really, this month, as I said, is really important for the LGBTQ community and just for our sense of identity and of just saying that we're here to stay. When it comes to the current politics in our state, I think it's even more important because it shows that queer people can be legislated out of existence and that we have always existed, and this month shows that resistance. Yeah, I yield the rest of my time.
All right, we're now online for questioning. We have 3 minutes. Gumroth.
So, did SBA coordinate with all of the committee members and just more people on the vocabulary of a lot of like proclamations, just on, making sure that we use certain words that don't seem insensitive to other people?
Yeah, we saw this in committee this week on Tuesday, and it passed. So and we also had like an amendment to change our word from something to something else. So I would say that it was definitely seen in committee as like to double check that the language is sensitive. And also I wrote this, Chair Hamid helped me write this legislation, so it's been like triple checked. So yeah.
All right, Collazo.
y- yeah, just out of like curiosity, so I noticed in the be it further resolved that a copy of this proclamation shall be sent to blah 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 blah. I'm just curious as to why like the director of LGBT, like it's just as LGBTQ plus services. I'm just curious as to why you guys didn't author it to say like the specific director or the student director of that kind of like department.
I think,
Could I answer the question? Sorry.
yeah, because I didn't write the sponsors, the be it further resolved. So
I
Chair
can-
Hamid, can you answer that one?
So when this was written initially, it was before anyone was kind of in the position for that LGBTQ services role of the person that we would technically send it to. I now know who it is, and I was kind of about to write the person before you asked the question because I just found out. So apologies for that, but the person will be written in.
All right, Metellus.
Motion to move
We
to
also
debate.
have 1 minute remaining. Oh, sorry. I didn't hear you.
Motion to move to debate.
There's been a motion to move to debate. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in debate. I'll go Weiderberg.
So like I said, when we saw this proclamation in SBA, I think everything looks great with it. I'll be voting in favor. I think it's extremely important to recognize Pride Month and that students can see that student government are accepting of the queer community and to allow the queer community to feel seen. And I just encourage everyone to vote in favor as well. I think it's really great.
All right. Hamid, are you the author of those amendments?
I'm the author of the purple one, but Aiden, could I take yours on as a friendly?
I guess.
Okay, I didn't have to, but so can we see both of those as a technical since it's just improving it's just correcting the titles, it's not really changing who they are. It's up to you.
I'm not going to see this as a technical.
That's so real. It's okay. Can motion to see my amendments then?
All right. Should I do it the same way? We have never seen amendments before. It's my first time. Sorry, guys. There's been a motion to see Chair Hamid's amendments. Are there any objections? Seeing none, you can go ahead and explain.
I'm gonna keep it brief because I know we kind of want to get out of here, but basically the changes were just adding who the student programs coordinator is for the LGBTQ services and changing the name, the official title of Andrea Guzman. That's it. It was just changing titles and adding a name.
Are there any questions for Chair Hamid? Richmond, do you have a question?
No, sorry, let me take my hand.
Okay. Seeing no questions, we're now in debate. Am I allowed to do that?
Yes.
Okay, we're now in debate. Is there anyone wishing to speak in debate about these amendments? Banesh.
I'll be voting in favor. I saw this in committee already. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I love the LGBT community as a part of it. Like, I would just love to see it recognized by the student government.
Hall.
Yeah, these are both like technical amendments to the proclamation.
I support the change of the. I don't know. I support it.
Oh, I was just gonna move to vote. Okay, move to vote.
Sorry.
All right, there's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures about this amendment. All right, with a vote count of 30 to 3 to 5, this amendment passes. I'm gonna go to Gumrov.
Motion to see my amendment.
There's been a motion to see Gumrov's amendment. It's the whereas clause.
Yeah, it's the ninth whereas clause.
Well, I'm sorry. Did someone speak? I didn't hear it.
Oh, I was just saying it's the ninth one down.
Okay, it's the 9th one down. There's been a motion to see Senator Gumrov's amendment. Are there any objections? See none. You can speak whenever you're ready, Gumrov.
Yeah, no, I love the proclamation. I love everything about it. I love that it's explaining the history, and I'm all for it. Just speaking on kind of the other half of other people, like, I just think it would be important to change that word necessary to just essential, because it is important, and it could be seen as a technical because it is just a synonym, but I think it does change the feeling of the whereas clause. So I would like to see it changed, even if it's not essential. If you want to use another word, I just don't think that necessary would be the right word to put in there, since it is a proclamation and it's advocating for something and not necessarily setting something in stone. So that's all I'll say about that.
All right. Are there any questions? Seeing none, we're now in debate. Is there any debate about this amendment? Colazo.
Yeah, I think the amendment is great. Move to vote.
There's been a motion to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures. With a vote count of 26 to 6 to 6, this amendment passes and debate time has definitely elapsed. So is there a motion, Hamid? Or
I was just gonna retain, but I can move to vote if you would like.
is that a motion?
Move to vote.
There's been a motion to move to vote. Are there any objections? Seeing none, we're now in voting procedures on this proclamation. With a vote count of 31 to 3 to 1, Proclamation 5602 passes on second reading. We have 10 minutes left. So is there a motion to go back to Varela?
Do we need to postpone all of the bills currently in the agenda because they were postponed last week, but do I like to do that again?
We would have to postpone again.
Okay, then can I make a motion to postpone internal bill 5602? And then the resolutions look like they've been postponed, but I'm not sure if that's like a typo, but if they're not postponed, postpone resolution 5601, resolution 5602, and then also postpone special act 5601 until next week.
Was I correct that they would have to be postponed again?
So technically, if you postpone it, it'll be on legislation on second reading next week. If you don't postpone it, it just ends up in old business next week. So you don't have to, it just changes where it is on the agenda for next week.
I think I would rather postpone it because I think openness comes before confirmations, and I think we should just keep it on the second reading so we can handle it if we have time next week.
Okay. So your motion was to postpone. Wait, I'm confused. Resolution, wait, am I just like having a stroke?
So the two resolutions last week, you all postponed them until next week. So that's why they already
Okay.
say postponed.
Okay, I was confused. Okay, so it's just Internal Bill 5602 and Special Act 5601.
Correct.
Okay. Is that what you said in your motion?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, there's been a motion. I'm so sorry. There's been a motion to postpone Internal Bill 5602 and Special Act 5601 until the next regularly scheduled meeting. Are there any objections? Seeing none, those are postponed. Senate Forum, I don't think we're going to have time. So you guys can just drop whatever you want. I will say I am probably going to try to schedule a special session so we can try to get through some of this business that we're now putting on backlog. So just be on the lookout for that, for a when to meet. And for a special session, it would kind of just, I'm pretty sure this is accurate. It would be like the same thing as a normal Senate meeting. So you would have to get like an LJR request if you aren't able to make it. All right, Senate deliberations. I don't know if we have time. That might be a little bit more of a.
Can I speak very
lengthy-
shortly about it? I won't like ask for any questions.
Yes, you can.
All right, cool, everyone. Hey, I'll be quick with it. Basically, I'm working on a bill in the background to kind of change pro-con procedure, which is the objection procedure for those who don't know. In the past sessions and what I've witnessed was an SOC, there's been a problem. People have kind of been frustrated with it. I think it's not very, I guess, convenient or practical. So I'm not going to take any like comments here, but if you have any comments on how you want to see it changed, fixed, or if you want to see it stay the same, please either come find me in person or DM me on Microsoft Teams.
All right. I'm going to go to advisor's report. Brody.
Hello, all. I am still here despite my lack of access to anything at this moment. Yeah, I don't have much for you all. You're doing good work. I know these meetings are very they can feel rushed and frustrating when you only have this limited amount of time to get through everything. But you're doing good work. Yeah, just keep it up, keep going. Okay, that's all.
Right. Oh, there's Maddie? Question mark or no?
Yes. Great job, everybody. You're being super quick and still paying good attention to all of the elections. So it's really great, or appointments, or whatever it's called. I hope everybody brings candy next week for the potluck. I brought candy, so hopefully next week we have more and we can all try it. I had never heard of that before, but I'm very excited. And then a kitty, because you have all been, what is it called? Confirming people. That's right. Confirming people. So good job.
All right. Are there any questions for the advisors? See none. Miscellaneous business. Is Danny here? She is.
I am, but I don't think I'm going to do a drip down today because.
Oh, you're not even here. I was gonna say we have like if you could do a brief one, but you're not in person anymore.
If
All
we have a
right, we can
quick
do a really
second-
quick Jordan's joke.
If there's a quick second to make sure that Trinity gets into some committees, that would be great.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Is that just gonna go in the agenda?
Trinity, if you're still in the call and just want to say which committee you want to jump in, that's cool too.
Is Trinity here?
Trinity bailed, y'all. She's not here anymore.
Okay. Well, she has a week to do it though, right? Or no?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. All right. So Jordan, you can do a really quick joke.
What does a nosy pepper do? It gets jalapeno business.
Okay, Andrea, a really quick animal. All right. Okay, we're running out of time.
Oh my god, wait. Okay,
Really
so the
quickly.
first animal I want to put is Allison's dog barking in the background. Because obviously. And then I want to shout out last week's animal of the days. I want to put pictures in, but I know they're just going to be really big in the agenda, so I don't know if that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna put them in. So the first one is Poppy Grace, Laurel's dog, who's basically her twin sister, and then the other one is Poochie. If you know, you know. Poochie is just amazing, and I forgot the guy's name who designed him, but he.
I didn't
Brandon
realize
Arnett
this was
and-
animal plural.
What happened?
I didn't realize this was plural animal. We have like 2 minutes. We have to get out of the student union.
Who passed away? What? Who said rip dog?
Okay, I'm gonna ask for a motion. Is there a motion? Hamid,
Motion to adjourn pending final roll call.
there's been a motion to adjourn the meeting pending final roll call. Are there any objections? Seeing none, Chair Quartz.
Lazo,
Present.
Rachetta,
Present.
Blessman. She dipped. Corelli.
Present.
Okay. Christopher Levine.
Present.
Stephen Levine.
Present.
Lim.
Present.
Morissette.
Present.
Elias. Karingle.
Present.
DeCara.
Present.
Butler.
Present.
Connolly. Connolly. Can somebody please check to see if Connolly is there? I'll keep going. Kieran. Gumarov.
Present.
Hamid.
Present.
Kaufman.
Present.
Larson. Right here. Memory.
Present.
Metellus.
Present.
Rose.
Present.
Shanun. Almanar.
Present.
Barrios. Hall.
Here.
Jackson, Atalhaj,
Present.
Chauhan,
Present.
Naguib,
Present.
Wanjan,
Present.
Johnson,
Present.
Patel,
Present.
Weiderberg,
Present.
Green,
Present.
Hendry,
Present.
Borges, okay. Alcuda,
Present.
Manish,
Here.
Condoloro,
Present.
Colazo, Fuchs, Jimenez Valero,
Present.
Hashimi,
Present.
Logalbo,
Present.
Pullman,
Present.
Renda,
Present.
Richmond,
Present.
Shen,
Present.
Varilla,
Present.
Vasquez,
Present.
Ooh, Lipner. He was here. Okay. With 43 out of 52, quorum is verified.
All right, everyone, check teams, because I probably will be sending something out about doing a special meeting or whatever. So please check teams. You should be anyways, but just be extra on it. And I adjourn this meeting at 9:01 p.m. Get home safe.